All right, where's everybody at? Once again, live from JTH Construction Studio. I know I've already went over sponsors and everything earlier tonight. So, greetings and salutations. Anyway, what's up, Tony? All right, guys. Jerry, are you on here yet? Here's what we're planning on doing. Because I got so much love on my UFO post, we're going to go, probably set up at Jerry's house. He lives out in the country, and he's got a great view of the sky with not much blocking. Some night we're going to go out there and set up, chit chat. He's Air Force, got other Air Force buddies. The post last night, I found it interesting that there was committee meetings in DC talking about these whistleblowers that were prominent, are well known, are well respected military type people. I don't know if they all were, but they had they were whistleblowers and they're protected, supposedly, quote unquote, now. And they were coming off some unbelievable information. And the entire planet is just like, oh, well, I know there was stuff released a couple years ago, and I know the Navy released some stuff, and they've been bleeding this out and bleeding this out. I understand why a lot of people are like, they don't want you to see what's really going on. I get that. Trust me, there's no one on that page, no one I know goes down more rabbit holes than me and digs more and is more full-blooded conspiracy theorist and conservative than me. I don't portray that a lot on the page because it'll get shut down. They've done that to me twice. And Bethany. So I get it. 100%. I get it, folks. They're just, look over here. I get it. But there's Jerry. But I did a show a few months ago on Admiral Byrd. Some of you may have watched. This is Admiral Byrd. This is in the late 40s, early 50s, right after World War II, where he went to Antarctica. Slamming doors, but that later. And he talked about UFOs, and he talked about spaceships that could go from one pole to the other in a blink of an eye, and we could do nothing about them. They shut him down. That has nothing to do with the Q stuff, or the Trump stuff, or the conservative stuff, or the Biden stuff, or none of that. There's paintings on walls all across the globe that Indians did hundreds of years with UFOs, with objects in the sky. I'm not 100% convinced, but I'm also to the point in my life with things that have been going on where you question everything. This is one that I question. Erica von Doniken, or whatever his name is, the Chariots of the Gods. I like that stuff. I get into that. Religion was a big part of this yesterday. Everybody's like, oh, read the Bible. Read the Bible. I've read a lot of the Bible. I haven't read it all. Not read every page. But there was two crowds who read the Bible. One crowd of the Bible was saying, read the Bible, it talks about it in there. And the other, and this is all hogwash. And the other part of the read the Bible crowd was, read the Bible, it talks about this in there and fallen angels. Then there was another crowd of the Bible saying, wait a minute, where are you getting this? And then one individual posted something from the Gnostic Bible. The Book of Enoch is not in the Bible. You're telling me to read the Bible. And you're telling me that I'm crazy for believing this, but you want me to read the Gnostic Bible. Hang on, guys. First of all, this is not an argument. Second of all, none of us know enough about this to put up a fight. I understand that there's some biblical scholars out there that understand they're reading their interpretation of this, and this makes them feel this way, and I get that. I unequivocally believe in God and 100% believe in my Savior and all that. So don't cross that line with me. This is not, to me, it's not the same. You can still have UFO. You can still have aliens and still have God. You're talking about the same people. There's deceitful people and wrongful people along the way of everything in life, everything in the world. You're not telling me that someone couldn't have fudged the numbers or did something, make this all go away at some point in time? So I tend to believe there's something there. Maybe not E.T., maybe not little green men from Mars, but there's something there. My biggest question is, are they out there or were they already here? And then you get into the flat Earth and the Antarctica and all that. It's a big story right now, other than what the media is telling you. There's a lot of folks talking about this stuff. It's fascinating to me. There's a lot of folks that believe that we've been lied to about so much. Zach, yes, we finally agree on something. Yes, there's two Boilermaker fans in a row right there, and they both agree. That is Zach and Colton. Welcome to the right side. Finally, you guys, I'm glad. But I wholeheartedly believe in God. So don't. I was shocked at some of the people who just read the Bible. What are you're crazy. I'm not crazy. I question the UFO stuff. I'm not questioning who my Savior is. I question who God is. Hell, we had 12 different interpretations of one reading the Bible just on my page last night. You're telling me that could have been fudged up over time by intentionally? Either, just like I heard today, I think it was on Rogan. Somebody said, either, or maybe it was on Charlie Kirk or something. Either this stuff is real, or there's some highly respected individuals that have worked for our government for years and done some wonderful things that are completely insane. And that was the best way to put it. Either this stuff is real, or these three individuals that have been respected for decades in our government that came forward finally. And there's others now. There's others popping out of the woodwork. Pilots. Jerry, tell you, pilots know it all. There's pilots that have been on talk shows that said, we've known this for years. We just couldn't say anything. It fascinates me. I want to know, almost to the point, I want to know, are they from here or from outer space? Jerry knows. Jerry's an Air Force guy. And we're going to go out to Jerry's house, and Zach will have to tell us when the best night is for viewing. Jerry lives out on the edge of town where he's got a good shot of the country, sky. And we'll go out there and we'll take the iPad, sit around and talk and BS and tell funny stories, and we'll watch the sky and we'll talk about UFOs. I can't say that I've ever seen one or question. But we're going to, Hunter. We're going to go out to Jerry's and do it. There's not a doubt, HD. Well, see, that's what, if you listen to the Gurich guy, his wording, he didn't say extraterrestrial, he said extra dimensional. Was one of the things he said. And it's in there. And if you break that down, like, what? Hang on. I'm missing part of the story here. I'd say from another planet far away into the universe. The question is, how far along in life are they? Are they behind us or ahead of it? They'd have to be ahead of us, Zach. Earth time travelers. I'm leaning more towards they're from here. They're already here. It's either in Antarctica or they're flat Earth. And don't shoot the messenger. This is just my. If they're from here, then we've been lied to about everything. If they're from the future, I'm going to ask the Colts one. So there you go, exactly. Then if we've been lied to about everything, then is the Earth flat, and how many other continents and stuff are out there, and what kind of. I work in aerospace, and I have for decades. Their technology is as good as it sounds. Admiral Byrd said in the late 40s and 50s, it can go to pole in a blink of an eye, and there's nothing we can do with it. So what do they have? And what we have is pretty much obsolete at this point from this day on. That's scary. That is scary. Now, I did hear one guy, I'm not trying to stir the pot again, but I did hear one guy say that they've spoke to us, and they said we're killing our planet, we're carbon, and I'm like, okay, if this is where you're going to go with this, I'm out. I'm not playing that. I'm not Al Goreing it again. This is not going to happen. That was the only guy I heard. None of the other individuals, the professionals, the pilots, and the individuals, the whistleblowers ever said anything like that. But clearly, the one pilot stated the only reason that we caught up with them radar-wise is because we've advanced so far in the last 5 to 10 years with our radar imaging that we locked onto them and finally got one. That's just getting them on radar at Mach whatever they're flying. I'm not just, Jerry, that's an argument for a different day. I just know now with the technology of cameras, when you can sit on the beach in Florida or wherever and catch an oil rig 2.5 miles out, that shouldn't happen. Or it's a city across the Lake Michigan that now can see with the cameras, because technology-wise, can see the skyline of Chicago. It shouldn't happen. Not with the curvature. I agree with you. I've flown at 45,000 feet, and it looked round to me. But there's a lot more to this. Regardless of what's going on in the national media, you have to remember that most of the people that are going to go, wow, are watching the national media anyway. I saw so many of that. I get that. I get it. They're trying to say, hey, look here. But we're not paying attention to them anyway. We know. Majority of the people already know they're full of BS. We're not paying attention to what they're saying anyway. Maybe they're still trying to brainwash the ones that do, but who cares? They can say whatever they want. I quit watching national media probably 7 years ago. Zach, bottom half, mostly at the top. Did you see the video though? Did you see the video of the guy? You can pretty much see, pretty interesting. For another day. I'm not disputing it. I'm no scientist. I have no degree in that. It's fascinating to me. I watch Ancient Aliens. I watch the guy with the hair like Bill Murray. 1 minute it's here, and the next minute it's here. There are some things that, due to what I've done over time in my job, the stones down in South America, there's nothing we have on this planet today that could do what they did at the precision that they did. There's no way. And if you're telling me some little kid with a mud flap on took a stick and did this, not a chance. They brought engineers. They brought engineers down there and said, how could you do this? And they're like, yeah, it did take us like 30 years. So, I mean, there's so much more to the story. And we've probably either been lied to because it was for the greater good, or they didn't want us to know, but there's more to it. And that's what draws so many of us. And from what I saw yesterday, there's Joe, there's a lot of people that have seen something. I've not. I can't pinpoint one time in my life, and I've been as far that way as Berlin, or that way as Panama, and as far that way as Canada. I've been halfway globe-wise, halfway one way, halfway the other. But I've never seen anything, and I've flown back and forth to Europe 3 or 4 times. And I've lived in Texas, and I've lived here, and I've been to California, and Oklahoma, Florida, Georgia, Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin. So I've been around. It's not like I've sheltered myself in my house my entire life, and I've not seen anything where I can say, that was definitely weird. That was definitely a UFO. I've never been a big sky watcher, though, or as much as some people do. But this stuff fascinates me. And when I made that post, after I watched some of that testimony yesterday, and I get on Twitter, and there's some of the conservatives are talking about it, but national media's not. Nobody in the national media is mentioning it. But I'm like, this is like, I understand I understand what could transpire. Colton and we'll get into that 100%. I understand what's going on in D.C., and I understand the power struggle that's going on right now and the justice struggle. I get that. Majority of us know what's up, no matter what happens. But this story could be the biggest story one of the biggest stories ever, if it's true. I mean, we've been basically lied to forever, not just by one government, but from everything involved. Admiral Byrd was telling the truth. The Indians were telling the truth. Other explorers were telling the truth. I don't know. I think we need to go to Jerry's house one night, sit out there, 3 or 4 of us, sit around, talk it out, have some fun. Get Zach down from Lafayette, because there's no UFOs up in Lafayette. He can come down, make sure it's a good night, perfect weather. Don't go outside tonight, because it's like walking into an easy bake oven out there. You'll have swamp ass in about 10 minutes, if not sooner. That is like Louisiana hot. That's what it felt like the first time I got off the plane. I was stationed in Germany, in the mountains of Germany, and got sent to Louisiana. In May, when I left Germany, it was snowing where I was at. I get to Louisiana, I'm not kidding you, it was like walking into a freaking swamp. I gotta catch up on these messages, hang on. Pyramids, if they're aliens and have been... Lost it. I apologize, folks, hang on. I gotta catch up. Depends. All right, now I'm catching up. Aliens, abduction. Can you imagine how alone or odd? Exactly. Exactly, D. 100%. Jerry, that is fact on the... Sounds like a good night, I agree. Pyramids all over what you figured out. There's no turn back. Bryce, I agree with that. Jerry, have you seen... there's pyramids in like... Oh, I don't want to say Ukraine, but in that part of the world. The old Czech republics and the old Eastern blocs and stuff like that. Zach, 100%. That's what D was saying. Pyramids all over the world. And I know when the land masses were together, that's how they if you glue them all back together and look at the lines, they're pretty much locked in. But like who was it? Jerry said, "There's no, or Hunter or whoever, there's no way you're gonna build a pyramid as close to zero as they did on Giza, and it lines up. Was it Orion? Orion's belt? No way. Not without some help." And for those just coming on, the post last night got really biblical. I wholeheartedly believe. I know who my Savior is, 100%. I'm just readdressing this earlier. I have read the majority of the Bible, not all of it, and then that was thrown my way a few times by people. Don't fall for it. I'm not falling for anything. Put out by 3 very well-respected individuals. Those are the people would never be able to trust. Exactly, D. This information was put out by 3 trusted individuals and others. There's others. It's out there. I go back to Admiral Byrd thing, and I posted it several times. That's what keeps me with it. Admiral Byrd was one of the most respected admirals ever. And the minute that he got out of Antarctica and they put a mic in front of his face, He said, blah, 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 blah. Spaceships going from pole to pole. Nothing we can do to touch them. Then when he got to DC, they're like, what'd you see? Nothing. Oh, okay. But then his kid came out later and said A, B, and C, and that's debatable. Plus, others were built in the line. Yes, 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 100%. There's so much to this, and that's why I'm like, I cannot believe it's just like back page, and it is literally back page. So if they're doing it to get our attention away from something, first of all, that's not going to work. We know what's going on over there. We know what's going on in DC. We get it. We understand it for a long time. What's up, Keaton? So that's not going to change our opinion of that, no matter what. I don't care if they trot ET out in front of me. That's not going to change my, what's up, Mac, opinion of what I feel about the UFO stuff. Not only the UFO, but what do they call them now? The submersibles. USOs or whatever. ASOs? I don't know. I guess there's a spot off the coast of California, but for decades, pilots, Air Force pilots have said, these things land in the water out there off the coast. And you can see the lights. Centuries ago, when they're floating around on the ships, the Spanish galleons, there's all sorts of reports of lights in the water. You know, I'll be right there with you. What's up, Mike? I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. Paintings from the Renaissance. Where there's UFOs, and you can look. Indians, paintings, UFOs. There's more to this. Oh, I agree with that, Mac. I just, from my work experience over the last 35 years, I agree with that. It fascinates me. Then I'm at work, I'm like, is all this stuff we do right now, is it obsolete? I don't believe the government knows. How do you think, again, follow the money. They only let the president know about this much. Because a lot of that money they get earmarked, just like the guy said, it's earmarked for something else. It goes this way. He said that yesterday in testimony. This guy said that. Oh, they're going to earmark this for A, B, and C, but that's not where it goes. I hope so too. Hopefully, 4 years or 2 years when he gets back in there, then okay, here's the deal. We got the truth now. But the guy said that in testimony. They earmark money for A, B, and C. When A, B, C doesn't get it, it goes whatever they're doing. Like, wait a minute. Why isn't every senator and congressman and just raising hell at this point in time come off the truth? It's fascinating. But I mean, like the guy said. Jerry, that's valid. Everything, not only the aircraft, everything can submerge. It's just, it's got to get out. Just like the submarine, it'll submerge. It'll crush at 1,500 feet, but probably hiding more money. Exactly. Just like the guy said today, either we've all been lied to for all these years, and I'm not just talking 10 years, hundreds of years, or decades, or three of the most credible whistleblowers in the history are insane. And not only them, other Air Force pilots, other admirals, other military people, other high-ranking, well-respected officials working for our government for a long time are insane. And I cannot see that, folks. You can fallen angels and all that. I get that, 100%. I understand where you're coming from with that. That's not my argument. Let's establish this is happening and then go down that route. That's a different thing. They might be all fallen angels. That might be a trick of the devil. It might be whatever. But let's establish baseline. This is happening. This is for real. You've been lied to. You've been deceived. The government doesn't give people credit. Ability to... I agree, D. And I think the internet, which they created, has well, I made this statement a few months ago. We are all there's no the radio's non-existent anymore. Not the radio that we grew up with. Not the news at the top of the hour, and the weather, and the sport. That's gone. Newspapers are obsolete. We, right here, whether it be on this, or Twitter, or Insta, or Snap, we are the news. Because I can walk out that door and drive around for 20 minutes, and boom, I got the story right now, and I can send it all over the globe in 5 minutes. I don't need a reporter to tell me that. I know what happened. I was there. Here's exactly what happened. Here's the video of it. Here's exactly what happened. And in 10 minutes, no one gives a damn about what I posted. They're on to the next one. And the next one. Yes, that's the point we went like, yes. So let's establish that. And then figure out what the hell they are and where the hell they're from. Are they from here? Are they fallen angels? Are they from Antarctica? Are they Anunnakis or whatever they call them? I don't even know what that stuff is. I've watched just enough of the... Oh, I agree with that, Mike. Like I said, I wholeheartedly believe in God. He's our Savior, 100%. I don't care if they trot ET out here in front of me. Like I said, I'm still going to... I believe in God 100%. That's not going to change. Nothing is going to change. I don't care how many aliens. Something had to create them all. Something had to do A, B, and C. I don't know. It fascinates me. So I got to get Zach down here and Colton and a bunch of us, and we'll go to Jerry's, and we'll talk sports, talk weather, talk aliens, and we'll just watch the sky and have fun one night with it. Jerry's got stories. He's an Air Force guy. I know he's got Air Force buddies that got stories. I guarantee it. I mean, what were we going to do? Steal the alien bodies? Not right. Yeah, and I didn't see the part. I didn't watch it all. Just tell me date and time. Can we get back to Squatch instead of ET? I'm all over Squatch still. I still believe in Squatch too. I didn't see the video of the alien. I've watched one before. How many military folks I have in here right now? How many military folks in here right now that have taken the all the years have been told we would run screaming for the halls? Yeah, kind of fizzled. How many military people on here right now has taken the CID test? Anybody? You might join us. Maybe so. Any military guys on here ever taken the CID test, the one that you have to take by recording? When I first signed up, I didn't understand all that. I had just turned 18. Literally. May 30th. And I went up in my hazmat. And 4 months later, or 3 months later, I go and meet. And then you got a hand and all that fun stuff. But I not lazy enough, and I'm telling this story to get to a point. You guys will see it. Stay with me. I was able to apply for military intelligence, but you got to take another test. And I go in there, and they pull me aside, away from the group, go down this hallway. I go in this room. There's a little Navy dude, the outfit. He pointed at whatever the rational. Little Navy guy. He said, "You ever heard anything about this test?" I said, "No." At this point in time, he says, "This is the only recording of this test there is. Everybody that applies for this takes the same test. And one out of 380, or whatever, it was some astronomical number. I wanted to walk out of the room when he said it, passed his test." wow, it must be hard. What's the cutoff? You gotta score 72. I'm like, 72? Hell, you can get half that right if you get your name right. He said, no, it's extremely difficult. He said, you're going to hear some sentences, phrases, and you have to put that noun, subject, verb, as you would in common English. That it's like baby talk. I'm not making this up, y'all. It wasn't baby talk. It was the weirdest shit I've ever heard in my life. I got it. I'm 56 years old. I heard this one. So now, full circle, I scored like a 68 on it. And I could have scored 100 or 5 because I had no clue. None. But that wasn't baby talk. I don't know what it was. It wasn't Indian, it wasn't Chinese, Aryan, or Italian. I want to talk to some other people. I want to find somebody else that took that test. I can verify what I'm saying. But now, after seeing stuff that I've seen as of late, I think I know what that language is. I'm just saying. I ain't pulling nobody's leg. And I'll find somebody that took that test, and then they'll be like, dude, we can't talk about it. Why not? I'm showing videos of them now. Okay, my nephew. I did not know that. This is probably still the same damn test, Keaton. It's beyond gibberish. It's full sentences, and you have to break them down and say which. You have to break it down just like I would a normal sentence in English. It's fascinating. And when the 18-year-old kid that took that test had no clue, would have never guessed that, but it stuck with me. Now I don't know what I would have done if I'd have scored 3% higher in the past. That'd have been interesting. And I'd be like, I cannot confirm nor deny that. We can't discuss that tonight. Ask her. Ask her, Keaton. So I took the CID test. I thought I took the military intelligence test back in 1985 and asked her if the test that she took is still on a recording. And it sounded old. I'm sure if they've upgraded it. Say military intelligence. So no. That's fascinating. I did not know that. Let me know what she says, Geek. Are you on? Are you? Tomorrow's Friday. You're still on post tomorrow, aren't you? Or at the ship? I'm telling you, we're gonna go to Jerry's. We're gonna set up, get Zach out there, get Colton out there. They can talk basketball, whatever, football. Talk Notre Dame football. Talk Jerry. Talk flying. Talk flat Earth. And I'll bring the iPad and point the iPad up to the sky. Who knows? Might see a satellite or two. I watched Skinwalker Ranch. They've got some good stuff out there. I don't know. It's fascinating. You can't tell me. Oh, dude, Keaton, it's soup here. It is. You can't. You have swamp ass 5 minutes. Miserable. Miserable hot out right now at what, 10 o'clock at night? 10:30. We did bring starboards. Oh, I did not know that, Keaton. Here you go. I get swamp ass. Skinwalker Ranch to my dad's. I love it. It's like Oak Island. Just dig that mountain up. There's something there. You know there's something metallic in that mountain. Dig it up. We're gonna throw some rocks off of it. That one guy's this is literally the guy who the government hired to oversee the UFO stuff. Tear the top off that mountain. If there's titanium inside that massive amount, what is in there? Too many variables for skinwalkers. Kevin, it's best to leave that shit buried. No, hey, we're beyond the point. Who was it? What was it they said? Since they did this shit's all gone to hell. I want to know what is it. Yeah. See, Teresa's getting on there. Yes, I want to know what's under the spink. Just dig it up. Spinks. So many questions. And if they lied to us about this, then man, what else have they lied to us about? I think the cat's out of the bag. I don't think they can control it anymore. Like I said, we the media. I discussed this earlier. We the people is we the media. Every one of us are media. There you go. Ombre, or what was his name? There you go. I don't think Teresa, it's why not? Well, that's the point. That's where we're at. All right, here you go. Here's a great question right here, and this is one we can discuss in full. We're gonna find out. Winnow wants to know: do you think they put a man on the moon? I'm an old X-ray tech. I had to study radiation. You tell me how we got past the radiation belt, and those astronauts lived, and I'll say yes, we did. But I've said all along, after I understood radiation, no, I'm an old X-ray tech. I don't buy that. You look at you basically went to the moon with duct tape, tinfoil, and some metallic rods. And you made it, the lead suits would have to be astronomical. Not only that, the lead lining on the ship to get through that the radiation belt. I cannot see that. And I'm an old school tech, X-ray tech. Aerospace, not human. I've always thought that. Right. Well, they did have Nokias back then, so. Valid question, Teresa. Where's Jerry at? Yeah, that was another thing. Where's the cameraman at when they're taking off? Hey, where you guys going? Is that who is it? Matt Damon? Are they leaving him there? Mermaids? I don't know about that one. No, but they did say some stuff that I don't know. Well, that's a big time story for a different day. There's a lot of here's the thing. If they stage footage, I believe you can see the U.S. flag from Earth with a powerful enough camera. So Zach believes. How'd you get past the radiation belt? No possible way to say yes. What makes it wrong for them is when you have your International Space Station camera up and a mouse runs across the aperture as the camera's up, zooming back, look at Earth. That happened. Literally, a mouse runs across it. We could do this all night. That's what yesterday people were like, it's a conspiracy. I was like, you guys have no idea. I went 3 days one time researching crap and didn't sleep an ounce. Oh, that's right. I apologize. All right. Everybody at home, tune this out for a minute. Hey, Purdue guys, we believe you guys went to the moon. Oh my God. It's going to come down to that. We believe it. Our boy ain't going to lie to us. Oh, there's a Boilermaker says we didn't. Why haven't we been back to the moon? Valid question, Wendell. Truman Show. I don't know if we're an experiment. Someone brought that up at work today. Are we just ants in a glass container and somebody's pulling the strings and feeding the sugar when we need it? That. Yeah. don't get them going, Keaton. You're going to get jumped on. They're probably going to win it all this year. So I mean, seriously, this is their best chance ever. And they could. Here's the scary thing: they could go undefeated and duplicate what Indiana did in '76. I hate even whispering that. That's a strong possibility this year. The rest is redacted. This is the chance. Moon mission was just a money laundering scheme. Wait a minute. I lost Jerry. Money laundering scheme, funneling biddings back. It was propaganda too. It was during the Cold War. You had to beat the Russians, and Russia was actually closing in on being able to bust through some things. And we ran them all up to. That's a totally different argument, Wendell. I'm with you there, though. They ran them up to it. Is it Greenland or Iceland where they have the footage? It's Greenland. No, yeah, because Iceland is green. It's Iceland. Greenland is iced, and Iceland is not. There's footage up there that you could almost match rock for Mars. They ran them over to a studio in California. What was it, Brubaker? Is that the movie Brubaker? Watch that. That's an older one, but it covers this. I think it's the name of it, where the astronauts all died. The reason why they said they died is because the one, like, hey, we're not faking this. It's not real. We're not going what? So he says, well, I'm telling the truth. And they say, oh, you are? Not going to happen. So they all died. Well, he didn't, and he goes up in the future. Stuff. I think it's called Brubaker. Old conspiracy movie. Old conspiracy movie. That's a total different argument for another. But I mean, you lied to us about aliens. Let's say they lied to us about aliens. Let's establish that fact first. Let's get to that point. Go from there. Then we can have biblical arguments, fallen angels. You can have all those arguments you want. Let's start from base. Let's come on out and say yes, 100%. There are other forms of life. There are aliens, and we have spoke with them. We have crash footage. Where does that go? What do we do at that point in time? It would change everything. Mode of transportation. I work in aerospace. Is that all obsolete? Is that it? Done? I used to have to test for Honeywell with a gentleman named Bill Spalding, and I would hear this name come up in conversations about UFOs in Area 51, and Bill say and all this. Right, Colton, I'm with you there. But I would hear this name come up, and I was like, can't be the same guy. So one bored day in the winter, I punch up some videos. It's him. It's the guy from Honeywell that I used to tell. He's since passed, but he was an avid UFO guy. And he worked for Honeywell Aerospace. Worked out there in Arizona. I'd have to, every 3 years, I'd have to have conversations with him. Spastic and funny, but I'd have to test, and he would send me the hardest test ever, open book test I've ever taken in my life. Open book test, but you might as well throw the book away. He was a good dude. Worked for Honeywell forever. Passed within the last 5 years, but he was an avid. Oh, the pyramids exactly, and it makes no sense. Not only that, but there's stones down. What's the name of the place down in Chile or whatever? They're granite the size of my house, with precision cut holes all the way through them, where you can't even find a degree. You can't even measure them that they're off. They're that perfect. That's what we do every day, and we can't duplicate that. There's no way how they did it. They've brought engineers there, but no way in hell we're. Only one thing can cut through that stone that way is diamonds. I don't know. I could talk about. Man, that fascinates me. Apparently some of you guys too. 17 people on at 20 to 11 on a work night on a Thursday night. Thursday night alien night here at Porch Time. Oh, he's boiling up. He's tapping out. Zach, God bless you, sir. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to get ready to jump to. Oh, wait a minute. We're getting swamped. Wow, it's a big story. Hang on. Zach, behave, buddy. Before everybody goes, I want to say something. And then I'll read you guys' messages. Thoughts and prayers to my big buddy, CB. Corey lost his mom yesterday morning. She had a tough time for a while. You'll never meet a finer family than the Bakers. Great people, 100%. Close friend of mine. Love the guy, love his family. And just wanted to say, God bless y'all. God bless his mom. I know she's in heaven with us. Rough week. I canceled 3 or 4 shows. Hung out with him a couple nights. Went over there last night. I ate dinner with him at the Mexican place. But Bakers are some of the Corey and Michelle and Luke, the rest of them, some of the finest people you ever know. And I feel bad for my buddy. He's going through it, but he'll get through it. Strong man, man of God. Very typical, very much like me. Loved his mama a great deal, and it shows. So I wanted to say that before got down to about 2 or 3 people here. Good to see him. Give him a hug. Give him a fist bump. Something. If you have ever been before. Now I'll catch up here. Zach, see you, buddy. A close family and friends passed away last week from PTSD-induced alcoholism. He was Air Force spent in Turkey. A lot of things. Wasn't allowed to talk about them. Heidi, you never know, dear. Look up the Jump for Kitty Hawk. 100%. I've researched that. It's amazing. Now look from 45 to, is it 78? It just leaps and bounds after Roswell. It's insane. It's insane. I know, Stacey. Thank you. Thank you, Brandy. Corey's a good dude. I can call that guy up and say, hey, call him up on a Tuesday. Hey, tomorrow night we're going to BFE cover some event. All right, let me know. I'll drive. He'll come get me. Load up all this crap. It's just the type of man he is. And Michelle's the same way. Just outstanding people. Love them with all my heart. Anyway, y'all. We may do this again tomorrow night. I got a show tomorrow night. Jerry's going to be in here talking about something else. I bought him a beer last night, Keaton. O'Doul's. We had met him downtown at was it Los Reyes? Bakerfield. Thank you, Mike. Met him down there, and I told the gal, I said, hey, I give me 2 beers and O'Doul's for me, Corey 3, and Luke. Like, okay. And she goes, small or tall? I said, tall. Modul's or whatever. Not O'Doul's. What I'm saying, it's a Mexican beer. But it's actually pretty good. So she said, you want small or tall? And I said, tall. So she brings out the Thirsty 2-ouncer. And it's about this massive. It's a big, huge stein. She goes, oh, you can only get 1 of those. I go, first of all, I'm not drinking that. I got to drive. Yes, Modul, yes. I said, that's for my buddy. I don't want 2 of those. Just get me a small bottle. And then she got me and Luke a small bottle, but Corey drank that whole. He drank 90% of it. Good to have a beer with my buddy. Should have went somewhere and got a cigar with him. We sat outside, had a long chat. All right, y'all. Jerry, Eyes of the Sky, yes, sir. I'll see you tomorrow evening, Jerry. He's got some stuff to announce in here about a golf outing. I got to get Jamie Fuel in here, too. Don't forget, Artie Fest starts Saturday. Got a lot of stuff I got to catch up on now. I got signs I got to do. I got a couple signs I got to do. I got a banner I'm working on. Don't forget, we do that now. We do signs and banners. Love you guys. Eyes to the sky. It's a great time to be alive, y'all. We're going to figure out some stuff. God bless every one of you. Enjoy the day tomorrow. Stay out of the heat. Pets and kids inside. I post that. And some people are like, I can't believe you got to post that. Because you'll hear it. Someone will lock their pet or their kid in the car. Don't be a dumbass. It's 11 o'clock. I can talk that way. All right, guys. Love you guys. Just have a wonderful evening. We will see you soon. Nanu, Nanu. Love it, Stacy.